All right, it's starting to become a familiar refrain from child-killing communist Democrats. Here's Bill Clinton pounding the drum yesterday out on the stump for Kamala in Georgia.
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened. But if they're all properly vetted, and that doesn't happen, and America is not having enough babies to keep our populations up. So we need immigrants that have been vetted to do work. There wouldn't be a problem. And he couldn't keep people all torn up and upset.
All right, aside from the fact that there is one less American owing to the abortion Monica Lewinsky said she got, this latest talking point that there are not enough babies being born in America and therefore immigrants need to be brought in to replace the shrinking native-born population, well, that's quite the charge. It is the policies of these same communist Democrats that created the shrinking population problem to begin with. Their incessant pushing of contraception, $500 million a year to Planned Parenthood of your tax dollars, as well as abortion up to the moment of birth. How did they think all that was going to end? Like an increasing population? He's right, Clinton, there is a shrinking of the native-born population, but what he, as well as Chuck Schumer and all the rest of them, never say is that they are the ones who've caused it. And now, conveniently, at last, wow, they've come up with the solution for the problem that they created. Let's just bring in truckloads and plane loads of tens of millions of illegal immigrants and just make them citizens. During the era of Roe from 1973 until 2022, approximately 65 million Americans were slaughtered in the womb. 65 million. Had they been allowed to be born, this conversation wouldn't be happening. Additionally, it's estimated that the ready supply of contraception has caused tens of millions of more abortions of the non-surgical type, as well as prevented the births of many tens and tens of millions more babies over those 50 years and counting. Add all of this up, and we're talking well in excess of 100 million Americans not walking around today. They would have all been born or conceived and then born at a steady annual clip, not just suddenly being dumped into the population all at once. So the U.S. population over the past half century would have increased at somewhere between 1 to 3 million people each year over and above what it was doing and now declining. But no, in order to help destroy the moral fiber of the country, to weaken families and make individuals more dependent on government, communists pushed the absurd notion of consequence-free sex. They did it for power, but as with everything communist, it's a lie. There is no such thing as consequence-free sex, neither individually, nor, as they are now having to admit publicly, and actually have the gall to campaign on, as a nation either. It's a sad statement watching these decrepit men like Schumer and Clinton hobble about campaign stages and offer phony solutions to problems they created once again so they could maintain their power for a communist agenda. Hopefully they don't, but it sure looks like they will go to their graves and proceed to their judgments with hands thoroughly soaked in blood, the blood of children, as well as the demise of a nation to boot. God love you. I'm Gary Michael Voris.